All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, because it's the internet. Welcome to the podcast with Vie Jester.
Whoa!
What's up, fellas?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I just want to say that I'm going to do a lot of things this year, and one of them is to lose weight. And that's it.
What about you guys? What's your resolution?
What's going on, man?
Me gordo.
Are we talking resolutions? Is that something that's secret?
It all of a sudden came up, so we're going to be talking about resolutions.
Me
now.
gordo.
So, Cliff, what's your resolution?
Not bite my fingernails.
Wow. Wow.
That's the thing?
How about you, Jaime?
Oh, shit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, poop. I'm going to drop some weight because I don't like being a gordo.
Really?
It's okay when I'm smashing things, but I need to be able to jump.
I mean, that's a little bit
Smash.
I need to fight gravity a little bit better this year. We'll see how we do.
I'm probably going to start waking up earlier and running. I want to run a half marathon by the end of the year.
I thought you were kickboxing.
Yeah.
I thought that's what your cardio was.
Yeah, I do that too.
Ooh. You like to kick things?
Like to kick them in the balls.
Ooh.
The goal of
For those of you who
journey.
don't know, Kyle is a master at the kicking bags art. And he's pretty damn good at it, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you guys, how was your guys' New Year? I know Kyle had fucking fun. I hate you.
What did you do?
I know, man. Tell us, man.
I went to the
Hearing fun, but
went to the House of Blues, man.
Yeah,
I
saw that.
I saw some cover bands. Ozmania, Appetite for Destruction.
Wow.
And you could probably figure out who they were covering. Ozzy Osbourne cover band in Guns N' Roses, and the guy for the Ozmania band looked just like Ozzy. He even sounded just like Ozzy, dude. And he had that like delay doubling effect that Ozzy always has.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was primo.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Did they cover Black Sabbath too?
They did. Yeah, they did. They did Paranoid as their encore, and it was funny too because they the crowd was cool. The crowd was good, but they weren't like super like rabid.
Right.
So even though Ozmania killed it, they weren't like shouting for them to come back on. So somebody came back on the mic and was like, encore, encore. I was like, who's saying that? It was
sound guy.
Yeah, I guess. So then people started chanting them. I was like, did they just forced an encore right now?
started their own, man.
But it worked. It came back on. They played Paranoid, man. They crushed it. Here, I'm gonna pull up a little audio sample.
Wow.
This is actually them doing.
And this was
Crazy
at
Train.
was it House of Blues Anaheim or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. And
Dude, that traffic must have been insane.
it actually wasn't too bad. But
Wow.
but you know, I've gone to Hollywood enough to know how to avoid the traffic. Anyway, the Zach
Takes
Wild,
an underground channel.
Zach Wild guy.
The no pants stanza.
The
Killed
no
it.
pants dance out.
Check it out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw every Snapchat you were sharing. I'm like, wow.
How about you guys? How was your guys' New Year's? You
I
guys-
stood home and just drank at home.
As long as we're drinking and
That's it.
hungover, that's all that matters. That's how you want to bring in the new year.
That's dude.
With regrets.
I spent it with Taylor Swift on ABC7.
Wow.
He's got a blank space, babe.
Dude, everyone had
He'll
bone to
write
pick.
your name.
Everyone had bone to pick with Pitbull yesterday. I don't know why.
Because he had a special on?
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the hell has he done? I'm like, well, you might want to Google his name and see what he's done. I don't know,
United the
man.
Latin community.
I mean, he is. He's been around for God knows how long, but he's done a lot for the community, I guess. But don't hate him because you ain't him type of thing, you know?
Shit, dude.
But I'm not a huge fan of his music. I don't know.
I can shave my beard off, leave my soul patch, wear some glasses and a suit, and I look like the mother lover.
Someone was saying that he looks like a shaved penis.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Did I just say I look like a shaved penis?
I've got that a few times about myself.
all right, well, fuck all that bullshit. What's up with Vie Jester, man? What's up with Vie Jester?
Doing
Man,
big
What's
things.
really going on?
2015.
Big things, big wangs.
Sowing seeds.
This is our year.
Yeah,
This is our year.
We're pumped. We're making a lot of moves. We have a lot of plans for 2015, and with one Mr. Edgar Hernandez helping out with the a little bit in management, a little bit in legal aspects of.
You guys got to cover your shit, man. Seriously,
that's what we got you for, my friend.
Not only that, but I mean, as an artist myself, I mean, I was in a very, very thick situation at one point. I'm not going to mention the band I used to play in, but if you don't cover your tracks, it goes really bad, man, and you lose a lot of money. And I'm a fan, and when you're a fan, it's a little bit different because you genuinely care about the success of somebody else's work. Hence, growing and I mean, it's no secret. I mean, no label is going to want to develop anybody anymore.
Not these days.
They want the steak finally cooked and served for them to market it. That's how it works now. Yeah. They don't want anything, made from scratch.
There's no artist development anymore.
Exactly.
Well, there is to an extent, but it's mostly in pop.
Yeah, it's all
it's
pop.
marketing.
And you guys, well, including Jaime, you're kind of like the old new edition.
Well, look here, man. It's been a long time since I've wrote the tracks. Yeah.
Kind of like the old new edition, like Bobby Brown in his 40s.
Yeah, it's like Bobby Brown in his motherfucking 40s. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she 19. I can still get her.
A little play on words.
But what excited me about you guys from the get-go is the fact that you guys already had chemistry. Because you can tell when you go see a band like
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we felt chemistry.
And then I saw you guys naked. I was like, yes! Fuck yeah!
You sealed the deal right there.
The first show that we played with Jaime at the Dragonfly, man, that was like his christening, and that's when we knew that we definitely had a connection, and that this was going to be something that we could pursue into the next year. So
it's unfortunate that you guys had some falling out at one point. No names mentioned, as much as I want to say the name, but or two, but
or three.
Bottom line is, I've played in a band too, and quite frankly, it's kind of like you try to find the right person for the mold, and it's really, really difficult. And you could be a talented motherfucker, you can, but guess what?
It's more than that.
Yeah, it's attitude, man.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Fucking Jaime is no less Claypool, man. I know that.
I'm trying to find out.
We've never fucking jammed with anyone who's close to playing like Les Claypool, but
it's all about attitude. It's all about I say about 90% of it is enthusiasm.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
If you just stand there, look pretty, and can't play for shit.
You got to be able to put on a show, and what we're trying to do in the new year is
get naked on stage.
We already did that. Didn't work out.
We're trying to be able to showcase our music and our talent.
Right.
I think we're all individual artists. Absolutely, Jaime brings a lot to the table because he has a different musical background than us. So, and that's what we look for. Actually, that's what we want.
And
he still appreciates.
Jaime has played with some of the people that I've known like 15 years ago that I was a fucking fan of. Like, there was this band called Substance A back in the day.
Was that Eddie?
Eddie DeGani was the drummer in that band, and Whit from Steel Rod was the bass player, and Walaya was the vocalist.
My Filipino beat maker.
That's how I met Eddie through that band.
Eddie DeGani.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like I'm like he was jamming out with them in that. What was the name of the group you were?
Our group was Discrepant.
And I'm like, Jaime? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Just like that?
So
Pablo Honey.
But and it's interesting because not only is it about attitude, it's about, it's kind of like an inner circle of musicians and, artists alike. That really, dude, believe me, having to piggyback off of each band, you never know. It's like, oh yeah, a band dropped out of the bill, you guys need to come on board. Shit like that happens, dude. But with you guys, I think that the main focus would be not only the music, but you guys are great looking guys, man.
We're trying to put on some kind of an aesthetic.
Clifford needs to be on the cover of every freaking album from here on out.
Look,
I want to get sponsored by Clinique.
He needs to be on Tiger Beat.
as long as we can get that Adidas, sportswear,
That corn gear,
that's all we're trying to get it back.
the Jonathan Davis.
That's all this is really about. Etches in Aether, the whole album. That's all this is about.
As long as we can get the ooh ah.
So for those who are listening, the process of the upcoming, I guess I could call it an album because it's not an EP.
It's an EP.
Well, I mean, you can call it an EP. Well, to me, it's not. It's you can listen to it all the way through, and it'll feel like an album.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
You guys are pretty deep with the music.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
But for those of you who don't know, they went to my alma mater, which is Pinnacle College, and they tracked with probably like 3 or 4 engineers, each bringing different flavor to the table. But I was privileged enough to be there when it was happening. Much different than what you guys have done before. With Jaime there too, that was very fucking interesting. I'm like, okay, well, a lot of people don't know, like, oh yeah, you just make the music on a laptop, export the audio out, master it, and there you go. You become a millionaire. And to me, it's like, no, it's a little bit more than that, because even those quote unquote DJs, I like to call them button pushers, but they have a process as well in the studio. And it all starts with this man right here, Cliff Conway.
Triple C.
I kid you not, dude. Watching this motherfucker play to a click track is the most ridiculous, illegal thing I've ever seen.
It's orgasmic.
No,
I know. I mean, not to blow smoke up his fucking ass.
no way.
Dude, I've never seen, probably, I mean, when I go to the Bonzo shows and shit, I mean, yeah, he's probably up there with them. But it's one thing to showcase your talent, it's another thing to actually write a song. And he's a songwriter on drums, which is very unique and different. Not everyone, Danny Carey can do that. Tim Alexander.
Yeah, all the people I look up to,
Bruno Mars. Did I just say that?
Yeah, when Cliff's on the drums, you can tell he's having like a Kundalini experience.
It's like the most surreal thing. You guys will eventually
rising up through the DNA in the spine.
Exactly. There's a serpent made of light literally entering Cliff's rectum and going straight up his spine.
It's like there's like a natural glowing out coming out of his ass and shit.
Yeah, that's the Taco Bell from the day before.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, so
don't be eating that shit.
So the new album, we're going to be performing at we're gonna have a record.
What do they call it? 4Ds.
Yeah,
Fourth Dimension.
We're gonna have a record release party. Cliff, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we're playing our hometown where we grew up for the record release show Etches In Aether, and that's gonna be February 7th on Saturday. And we're gonna have a couple other bands there. It should be a really big event, and should bring a lot of people out because a lot of our friends and family are in the area. So it should be a great show.
And it happens to be on my birthday too. So.
Hey!
Oh, hell yeah. That's tight.
It's gonna be good times, good big party.
Una pastel.
Big party. But I mean, I still dig Cognizance too, man.
Thanks.
I still listen to it every day. I think Danny Balastaki did a marvelous job tracking, mixing, and mastering it.
He did.
I'm a fan of the guy. I like his work. I like his style. And I love, we could probably get him on a podcast soon because that guy could talk up a storm.
That guy definitely has a personality. Love that guy. One
thing that we have a little different on this new album that we didn't have so much on, or at all, really, on Cognizance is Troy Maturo's work. And
dude, that guy is a beast.
He is.
I kid you not, dude. Like, Kyle tells me, "Oh, let's go to downtown Disney. We'll be jamming out with this guy named Maturo." I'm like, Maturo, it sounds like a video game. So I go down there. I'm like, oh, that's who Maturo is.
He's got all the sounds, dude.
Dude, he is the composer master. Man.
He's a wizard of electronics.
Dude, he's kind of like a Trent Reznor, but with sunglasses.
And Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
So he's a Trent Reznor.
Troy, for anybody listening who doesn't know,
Troy Reznor.
my buddy Maturo is a performing artist of electronic music. He's a keyboard player, and he plays other instruments too. But I perform with him.
Ultimate composer.
I perform with him as a musician on downtown Disney, and we basically just recruited him to get sound effects going for the new album, and he totally kicked ass. This isn't a genre that he's used to writing for, but we worked with him, and he worked on his own on it, came up with some fantastic ideas, and he definitely is bringing this album to the next level.
Dude, like I said, just the basic tracking stuff that was done at the studio, I'm like, I can only imagine. I mean, you and Cliff combined, you guys have some fucking outrageous ideas sometimes, you know that? It's like, let's get a beer, let's get a beer cake and detune it down and then quantize it to 16th notes. See how that sounds. Slap a reverb on it.
Why don't we throw hot dogs at a cat and see how it reacts?
I'm like,
this should work.
Can we rent a dolphin?
Let's just go down to the rental place in North Hollywood.
Yeah, you just need to have strong purpose. Porpoise, excuse me.
God. I have exercised a demon. But yeah, Troy is pretty fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, man, we're excited. It's gonna be cool. It shouldn't be like outrageous though. We're not completely changing our sound or changing our direction or anything. We're just trying to
you're expanding.
Yeah, we're trying to expand a little bit and incorporate some more ambient effects. Kind of like Pink Floyd, I guess you could say. It doesn't sound like Pink Floyd, but that would be the idea of what's going on.
I think that
that's cool.
In addition to what he's contributing to the EP, I think for him as an artist, it's kind of out of his comfort zone, which is good. And I know he recognizes that, so it kind of pushes his those creative juices a little bit harder. But Jaime, you being the newest addition, out of all the production that you've been involved in and all the groups and whatever, what do you feel is a lot different about this EP than anything you've ever done before? It's usually the bass player that kind of gets, like for example, Hollow. Like, tell me about that. Like, describe the production, the mindset, what you felt, what you ate, the morning dump, whatever.
Well, I love to write if I can. If you know my quick backstory, man, I've been listening to these guys for a long time and their shows and taking photos, and I just love what they talk about and sing about. So I'll be laying there on the floor to get some good photos, and I want to know, what are your lyrics about? And there's something just really, really good about the lyrics and kind of like the writing that Kyle and Cliff do. It takes me to a place that when I put my lines down or I play something, it really doesn't just come from a place of technicality. It really just comes from a place of this music has a mission. These words have a purpose. There's something that's being delivered to people who are there to have a good time.
Yes.
But that's what hit me is like every time I listen myself, I was just like, man, this is blown away, man. I want this mission to go. And I tell people, and then I said, you know what, the next best thing? I'm going to dream this. I'm going to manifest from my head, and I'm going to be a part of this because I want this message to go on. And that's really what it is, man. I bring my passion to it.
And you
hell yeah, brother.
He uses the word that I love to use. It's purpose. Why does the song exist? Let's take, for example, Hollow. All right. Why did that song come about? Something inspired it. Something happened. Cliff fell.
I'll tell you what inspired it.
Whatever.
I'll tell you what inspired it.
Started with the drum beat.
This guy Edgar called me and he was like, "You guys want to record some music?" And then Cliff and I were like,
"Come inside."
Cliff and I were like, "Oh shit, we don't have any music." So we actually went back, like Cliff said, started with a drum beat that Cliff had.
We had worked on it probably about 4 or 5 months before we finished writing it, and then we.
I would say that you had the groove, and then I had one riff, and then we kind of forgot about it. We didn't really touch it after that point. It just kind of happened like after a week or two.
Well, you know what? Yeah. What I find interesting about that track is, were you there for the basic tracking, Jaime?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was like-
that's when we had that big issue with the
batteries,
bass, and it
lines.
had him change the battery and all that.
We had a big problem with me swelling.
What I found interesting, the first thing that stood out is like, fucking Carl's using a whammy pedal,
yeah.
and I'm looking for the whammy pedal. I'm like, I don't see
the
it.
main lick in the song.
It's
is
in his
out
fucking
there.
digital bank, and I'm like, So I mean to ask you, what inspired that effect? I've never heard you play with that effect.
Like
before.
Cliff was saying, Cliff came up with the drum beat to start this song, and it was really cool. It was like a 6/4 or something, Cliff?
Yeah, it was in 6/4, and then you changed it to a 4/4, but like it still kept the essence of the beat.
Yeah.
The riff is just out there, but it's so badass.
I played over it, and I've been wanting to kind of come up with my own sound as far as, like I feel like all guitar players, all the greats have their own tones and their own effects and stuff. And it's actually not a whammy. It does sound like Tom Morello for sure, and I'm hugely influenced.
That was the first thing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm hugely influenced by
It grabs
Tom.
you, like,
But it's actually a ring mod, and I use ring mods a lot on my songs.
ring mods.
It's a ring modulator.
Listen to that, guitar players. Ring mods.
Yeah, so on the guitar parts, I like to add that, and it came out really cool, man. It straight sounds like a fax machine on acid.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
You guys want to debut it right now?
Are you guys down?
Let's play it.
Let's show everybody,
Ladies and gentlemen,
the new song,
This is Hollow by Vie
Vie
Jester.
Jester.
Hollow Graffiti.
Hello, graffiti. Hello, my baby. Hello, my. Yeah, here we go.
My senses tell me I steal too much. Gold all around me. It draws me like I'm painted. You don't like what I've become, but how the hell am I supposed to feel? What is real? Let's take a ride on a colored wheel. Inside a hollow web.
And we're back.
That was awesome.
Conga.
Yo, man. Okay. 2 things. 1, sounds awesome. 2, sounds fucking awesome.
Danny Balastaki would be
Whatever
very
Danny
excited.
does, Danny did it
again.
Yo, man, that shit sounds tight.
Danny's dingo did it. Died.
Here's what I like about the production.
Shoot.
It sounds fucking amazing.
Details.
I think it started. Well, here, bottom line, it started with a good song, dude.
Shout out to Dan Hick.
Down Hick
Got us started.
Love you.
He got us started, and it wasn't like we had to polish a turd. You know what I mean? We had to polish fucking diamond.
Diamond, know what I'm saying?
And I'm not bragging about the song itself.
Reflection.
I'm talking about the song quality and the way he tracked it. You know, he's a pro. He's a pro, and we were very lucky to work with him, man.
Sure is.
So thanks to Dan Heck.
Heck
Everybody else.
Studios.
Yeah.
The other thing that really kind of stood out to me is vocally, you sound so much, I guess, immersed in, I guess, the intent of the song.
Yeah. I think of it this way.
Because that's really what I kind of just grabs at you, too.
Yeah.
Other than that, badass.
I appreciate that, man, a lot, because that's always something that's really hard to convey in tracking of vocals, is that you're being, you know, really feeling the message that you're, and the lyrics that you're singing. But what happens is, when we were recording all these Pinnacle tracks, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to get super polished on the vocals.
Right. I remember it was more of a musical tracking session, I guess.
Yeah, instrumentation, and then we went back to Danny's and we re-recorded the vocals, and that's what you heard just then.
So I didn't know you guys did drum edits, like light drum edits.
Not too much.
Yeah, like I know Cliff is just being a perfectionist about what he does, which is typical drummers.
That's Cliff.
I don't like my ghost roll right there. Can you put it on that right there? Can you Pro Tools that? Oh, that sounds so much better.
It should be like
but can we do that to everything now?
Dun dun dun.
It's like, oh.
But dun dun dun.
Gotta love the magic of modern recording, man.
I mean, you guys do take an old school approach to recording, though, which is what I like.
Yeah,
you guys really don't cut and paste a lot like a lot of the bands. Which, I mean, you guys have the ability to, but you guys just choose not to.
yeah. My goal to always, since I first started playing drums, is to be able to play
Naked.
the song all the way through. And then it took me a long time to get to that point, but now I can do it. And it's, well, for a while I can.
And I encourage
So that was a goal
the
of mine.
listeners to fucking see you guys live, because especially for Cliff, for those of you listening, he plays exactly like he does on every recording that you guys have done.
We all try to.
It's fucking amazing. It's like, I know the grading system with live shows. It's okay. How well do they sound like the record?
Yeah.
If you sound better than what you released, it's pretty badass. But
We experiment a little bit live too. You know, we try to change it up, but we like to be as honest as we can to the song. Unless,
do you guys change tuning live?
no,
You guys keep it the same.
yeah, I know some singers will go flat, you know, to help them
Sing it
vocally.
easier.
It
You know?
really depends on. I mean, you guys tune pretty low anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty low, but I mean, my range. I'm working on it, but my range is already pretty. You know, it's topped out right now on the songs that we're at. So I would probably benefit if we dropped it a little bit.
I wouldn't put it past you, man. Don't worry.
He sounds
Put
like
back
Axl Rose.
Yeah, and this track that we did is kind of the demo mixed version. It's not finished, but there's a lot of bells and whistles we're adding. We just kind of wanted to give a preview. It's going to sound better. It already sounds amazing just for the first mix.
Are you guys renting the Dolphin?
He couldn't make it this week. We gotta see his schedule, you know.
But we're stoked, man. We're glad that you like it. We really hope that everybody else listening enjoyed it.
I think this is probably going to top the previous release. Even though the previous release, Cognizance, was freaking amazing. But I don't know. You guys just kind of push the envelope a little bit in this one, I think.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Always.
But percussion, though, man. I mean, fuck. I think it was just good from the beginning, and Danny just kind of polished it up.
Yeah. Thanks.
But I don't know. I mean, when you write a drum track, do you already have the song in mind, or you just kind of just riff it out and see what comes out, then you arrange it? Like, what's the process?
It can vary, but a lot of times it's Kyle writing the riffs and then kind of getting skeletons, and then we'll kind of collaborate how many times we should do each part. Should we add another part? It kind of varies song to song. It's not like a definite formula that we follow. But yeah, it's kind of just like I've played through it many times and just try to see what's comfortable and what leads good into the next part. It's pretty it's just something that comes with studying drums, and over time, you get more confident.
And you know what's funny about Cliff is he's one of those very distinctive drummers where you can tell it's him, and your velocity control, like your dynamic levels.
Thanks, man.
They're just like, there's a lot of breathing room, which is what I like.
Yeah,
and I can tell that's like, that's your Danny Carey influence, dude. Because
yeah, I appreciate that you say that, but I mean, I'm not sure if I have you can tell it's me. It's a pretty hard thing to do.
I think so, because I don't know if this is just me, but he has like a signature thing with the bell on the ride. He does it on every song.
Cliff, yeah, he does a lot of syncopation.
All your fills, it's like it's you. You have your own way of doing a fill.
Cliff has a syncopated bell thing that he does every once in a while. But I mean, if you want to make a comparison to someone who's modern, because I mean, I've been listening to Avenged Sevenfold a lot, and the Rev had a very specific style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His style was obviously based on the greats like Lars and
Vinnie Paul.
Vinnie Paul is the other guy I was looking for.
For those Lars haters, fuck you.
But it's like you can hear the Rev, and the reason that you know it's him is because it's like nobody else mixes Lars and Vinnie Paul quite like he did.
Right.
And he obviously had his own little unique thing that he was doing. So Cliff is the same way, because Cliff mixes Danny Carey and Lars and his influences from jazz drummers very uniquely.
Wow,
so
jazz drummers.
Yeah.
Like who?
There's a lot. Tony Williams, Lenny White, Billy Cobham.
Buddy.
Kind of like fusion drummers more, but I like a lot of jazz drummers like Roy Haynes and Elvin Jones and stuff.
Yeah, those guys are legit.
Yeah,
dude.
treat yourself, guys, man. If you come out, check out Cliff's Faces.
I wanted to...
If you ever seen Buddy Rich in some old videos, man, you're going to see the same face. I'm not saying they're related, but related.
When you play live, are you in a place mentally?
Yeah, I'm just trying to concentrate and not mess up and keep the tempo right.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like I'm disappearing.
Right.
I'm
like, fuck, where am I?
But yeah, you get an emotional feeling from playing the songs we wrote. I mean, every song you get an emotional feeling from, So it's like,
connection.
You kind of get lost in that. And so if you make weird faces, you're not thinking about it, It's just what happens when you're feeling the music. Yeah, it's...
But, yeah,
is that Jumanji? You guys...
Good. Oh. What year is it?
Is Robin Williams going to burst through the door right now?
All right,
he's going to be like,
all right, babe.
Where did he really go?
What's going on here? Jumanji!
I am Job. I am Job.
Robin Williams was a topic on our last podcast. We missed that guy. We missed that guy, obviously. Who else are we missing?
Well, I mean, 2014 was, pretty. I mean, fuck, even Joan Rivers, dude. As controversial she was, I mean, she was
American icon.
She was fuck yeah, dude. She was an entrepreneur, man. But Joe Cocker. Yeah. I mean, do I need to even?
Joe Cocker. Dude, yeah, man.
I heard of Joe Cocker. You know how I heard of Joe Cocker?
How?
I was
The Wonder Years.
7 years old, and I was watching the first episode of The Wonder Years.
The first episode.
The first one. I think it was when it was his first day of school or some shit. So the Wonder Years. And that's the first day he met Winnie.
What
Winnie Cooper.
would you do?
I wanted to say something to
Go ahead, cool.
Lauren Michaels from Saturday Night Live. They asked him what the greatest SNL performance was, and he said Joe Cocker.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Joe Cocker, man, he just put it out there. He didn't care. It's like he didn't care if there was like 40,000 people out there or 4 people out there, dude. He put it all out there 100% completely every single time. And Andrew, you and I were having this discussion of like there's really no other voice like him ever, with the exception of maybe who's the female blues singer that passed away real young, 27. She's in the 27 Club.
Oh,
Janis
Billie
Joplin.
Holly. Oh, all right.
Billie Holiday is her Janis Joplin.
Dude, she had
her and Joe Cocker, I would say.
Also, the
had that
singer
real
from
similar-
Creedence kind of reminds me.
Credence, yeah, that's
They
true.
kind of have similar stuff.
Yeah, CCR.
Or Bob Seger.
What was his name? Oh, Bob Seger, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Let's. He's still alive, so that's not.
Bob Seger.
So I'm saying he just reminds me, like, similar voice. Yeah.
But this is what you and I were talking about, that if Joe Cocker was on The Voice or American Idol these days, that he would get fucking disqualified in like the first round, right?
Dude.
Because they're not looking for raw original artists anymore, and that's what Joe Cocker was. And our modern generation is missing out on the potential for Joe Cockers or Janis Joplin's or people who sing with such raw soul and such originality that they create new genres and new styles.
Yeah, Simon Cowell would be like, "You sound like you did 6 lines of coke before you entered the stage."
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say that Chipotle has the hottest salsa I've ever had. But yours is the worst salsa ever.
And I think Joe Cocker is just a horrible name.
It's a great name. Are you
Have
kidding
you
me?
ever thought about it on
fun
the
to say.
playground?
It's fun to say.
Joe Cocker. What did you think was going to happen?
My British friends listening, we apologize, but you guys mock us with a southern twang each and every time, and that's not how we all talk. For the record.
As far as like modern singers who are super, super original and we're able to like have people trying to emulate them, you have to go with like Maynard from Tool, you know? I don't think anybody...
Chino from Deftones.
Yeah, that's true. We actually auditioned to somebody for Vie Jester who sounded just like Chino.
I feel like a lot of people are trying to cop Lord's style. Like a lot of songs are coming out sounding like her.
I hate on her because she's so original. You know that? I hate on her because of that. Because she nailed
her
it,
music's
dude.
not really original. It's just kind of like trip hop beats.
Yeah, dude.
But she kind of has a unique voice, you know.
I hate on people because they're good. Is that wrong?
I think something like age old.
Like Taylor Swift, dude.
Who would you
I hate
say?
on her.
Who would you say has a really original voice these days?
Nowadays, what genre though? Any genre. Iconically, man, it's got to be Beyonce.
She kind of reminds me of like Mariah Carey, though. No, am I tripping?
Yeah, I don't think she has the really original
She can
voice.
rhyme and sing like. It's like a combination.
Yeah, she's got that.
The only comparison I would have with her is Mary J. Blige, but no, man.
If you're gonna go with the R&B road, why not Lauryn Hill, dude?
Well, I mean, Lauryn Hill to
She's
me
a has-been, man.
I don't know, man. I seen her live at
Hold on, though.
at LA Rising.
I want to touch on that point. Did she fall off, or did she?
Yeah, her albums were garbage. Her live albums sucked, dude.
Really?
Ever since that, she fell off.
No way.
You know, I agree with Cliff. I'm not a fan of her live albums.
She had a double MTV album, and it was a total flop, and didn't even play that many hits on it.
Oh man,
I think she represents. She's trying to represent a little bit more than just the music stuff. So I think people look up to her for that.
Because she calls a lot of shots with her marketing team, which is not always the best idea.
Yeah, maybe
because you need a third opinion, not just a second. But
The Miseducation was a great album. One of the greatest.
Jeez,
That was her last
don't
great
even
album,
get started on that one.
and that was like 14 years ago.
Yeah,
that's
man,
too
I
bad.
mean,
Jaime, original voice
original
for
voice.
the new generation.
new generation.
Jesus.
Cliff wants to go.
Jesus,
I'd say Josh Homme from Queens of the
Oh,
Stone
for
Ages
sure.
has his own
Josh
stuff.
is
And also,
fucking amazing.
the singer from Arctic Monkeys, he kind of has like an original. Like he has a cool voice. I think.
Yeah, he does, dude. I hate him.
Josh Holmes, though, that says
I hate everybody.
Like I'm just
Or
thinking
Dave
about in
Grohl.
mainstream rock, you know.
Dave Grohl, dude.
In my mind, I was thinking Dave Grohl, but here's what Dave Grohl does that's great. Dave Grohl isn't a great singer, but he made whatever he has going on work for him. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's kind of like you hear about that old saying of hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I feel like that's what Dave Grohl did.
And he is the master of doubling his freaking vocals, dude.
Yeah, he's a good master of melody.
Dude, he triples his vocals. That's why they sound so thick. and he nails it. He'll do about 2 or 3 takes till he gets it to the point where he likes it, and it's like, I gotta do like 14, 15. You know what I'm saying?
Jaime, what do you think? Let's go with some in the rap world, because I know that's what you're into.
Hip hop, dude.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite people who's it's versatile. It's like it's both lyrical content, so the content is relatable, it resonates with me, and then also the intricacy. It's like they sound like a drum, it's just rhythm. And then also they have a vocal part. It's Chris Calico.
Oh yeah,
off of the Strange Music label.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Chris Calico,
he can sing.
Yeah.
He can vocalize. He has a falsetto. He has a low bass sound when he sings. But then also he can spit fast as like Twista, as
That's cool.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like so that's a guy that I like.
Uncle Charles. Dude, what about Eminem, dude?
Yeah, super unique. There's no mistaking him at all. Well, a lot of hip hop artists.
Thing, yeah.
A lot of hip hop artists have that though.
The only really distinctive hip hop voice, if you want to call it hip hop, but mainstream hip hop, has to be Drake. You can just tell it's him immediately.
I think a lot of hip hop artists have that though, and then he's not really hip hop. He's more like.
Well, I mean, I know T-Pain was doing the whole auto-tune thing for a long time. He was probably the pioneer of that. But sure. Drake has a certain cadence that he always uses on every freaking song and his melodies.
It reminds me of like the cough syrup type of rapping.
Yes,
where like Lil Wayne kind of pops in that same thing. I've been drinking beer for hours now, man. I've been drinking some cough syrup now. I don't know if I got beer. Can't tell if I can. What am I rapping about? Oh, the Grassy.
Yeah,
Grassy, you know me.
It's drunk hop, dude. That's what I call it. Drunk hop.
It's drunk hop.
Because that's what it is.
I gotta ask you something. Is Drake in the Illuminati?
Hell no.
Okay.
Cliff knows Drake.
Cliff and I are big on this topic. Why do they exist?
The Illuminati. What do you mean?
Why are
the artists in the?
No one would be talking about them if it didn't exist. But why do they exist? Are they the mitigators of what?
Are you talking about the artists?
Why are they around?
Mind control, thought control, viral control.
They kind of took over, infiltration.
Right, but there's a story about them. Remember that 90s stories we were talking about the whole gangster rap conspiracy?
Yeah.
Why it existed? To incarcerate more people.
Explain, Clifford.
That actually makes sense.
I don't want to get into it.
I mean... Okay, so he won't get into it, but the idea that I just got from him is that if you say that you give this type of lifestyle or type of way that you talk, a way that you work, how you get your money, that you get more people that see that and they idolize it. So then they start to do the same behaviors, and then they forget that on the other end it's like, oh goddamn, if I sell drugs and I kill people, I just might go to jail because there are cops out there that are trying to stop it. But it made sense. It like made people just latch onto it. But if you got a positive message on the other end, you can still have people latch onto that too. But I mean, that's only my take. I don't know, Cliff. I don't know how you feel about that whole thing.
I mean, I know it's for me and Cliff, it's a very taboo subject to talk about. I'm not. I mean, I've seen stuff before in the past that I kind of question, but I never said anything.
It's coming to the limelight though, way more because the artists are trying to represent it, including Madonna.
Did you hear about Dr. Luke?
Dr. Luke, he was Kesha's manager, and she's suing him for rape.
Okay.
I heard about that.
And there's a lot of other artists and independent artists that are coming out of the woodwork saying, that these allegations are true, but he pays people off to shut the hell up.
Yeah. Also, Terry Richardson's that famous photographer.
Yeah.
And Miley Cyrus had a shirt that said, I was molested by Terry Richardson, like, as a joke, but she probably was.
Yeah.
Or I was touched by it.
What's that phrase that they use? Hidden in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's right in front of your face and you can't see it.
Fluoride. Anyway, talk about Madonna, Cliff.
Wow.
Madonna had her album was leaked to the internet and she claims like she was like, this is like rape to an artist because it was all demo tracks and it was supposed to be her new album. And one of the songs in particular got a lot of attention. You can look it up on YouTube. It was like actually produced by Kanye West, and it's called Illuminati, but she claims it was a demo, and it wasn't finished, and it was never supposed to be released.
What?
Yeah, and it's all talking about how I think the lyrics go like, it's not Kanye, it's not Jay-Z, it's not Beyonce, and then she's like and then the chorus is like, the Illuminati is the light, saying that it's good, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been around for hundreds of years, so she's saying it's a good thing.
Well, I mean, it literally means the enlightened ones.
But
that's the term.
Why can't there be an agnostic fucking industry? That's my biggest fucking bone to pick with everybody. It's like, why there's just got to be divisions? Is it the fucking NFL, dude?
What's your opinion on it, Kyle? Because I have an opinion on that.
Well, my opinion is that the industry was never meant to be, guided in any one direction by one belief or anything like that. And I don't think that's the way it's going anyway. I just think that for whatever weird reason, the people in the pop culture, they're into the Illuminati. It's weird
because they're saying that the internet was the monkey wrench in the gears for them.
Okay,
but now they're saying, now it's floodgate.
But in general, it's become a word that is kind of household now, and still nobody really understands what it is.
And there's a lot of people that embrace that. That's another thing that I
think it's cool. Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
The narco culture in Mexico. It's
Jaime is chomping at the bit right here.
No, I'm just saying that because it's a thing that you embrace. But the whole thing with my my own personal beliefs and faiths and things that I think are true. It's you hold on to a word, and the word represents and resonates with you on different levels. You have your own interpretation of the word and how it emotionally, kind of rings with you.
Right.
But I think people sometimes, especially in for hip hop, for example,
right.
I mean, just you get that the kind of drunk hop like you're talking about.
Right.
You get people that have 4 lines of lyrics that are I got tripped and I fell in the curb and I'm drunk and I don't give a crap because I own a Furby. And you just repeat that with a beat. It doesn't matter what happens. But I think people latch onto that because they want to find something that they can say that's not their reality. They don't even know. They're not trying to find out themselves or find any other truth. But they find, okay, Illuminati is different than just what I've been told from my parents and my religion and my church. So this is something that I'll kind of latch onto. And it's kind of a viral thing. It's like, watching a raccoon steal cat food from a cat, and the cat's trying to mess it up, and the raccoon just backs up and it grabs the cat food and it walks away. And you're like, did you see that? Because I saw that. The raccoon had the hands. That's the type of thing is that you find something to latch onto, but you have to dig a little bit deeper. But I mean, that's really what I feel. It's like they just find the word and they say, okay, I'm okay with that. Hey, did you hear about it? It's Illuminati. Look at this dollar bill I found. I'm like, y'all think of that in yourself, or you watch a YouTube video 1 or 2 times extra?
But I gotta say one thing that I don't totally agree with what you said is that the religions that most people have talked about the Illuminati and said, it's bad or this or that. Actually, I don't think any religions have even acknowledged it.
Yeah. Mark Dice, this guy that I watch his videos, he talks about the Illuminati and stuff. He said that he's a Christian, and he's saying that a lot of times he'll bring up to these important pastors stuff that's actually going on in the world. He'll bring up current topics involving it or whatever, and they'll get really weird. They don't want to talk about what's actually going on.
Yeah,
they want to it's kind of they want to talk prophetically. But when you actually bring up what do you think about in the future? Transhumanists want to merge with machines. They'll be like, well, that's weird. He's saying they don't want to confront the actuality of what's happening
because they can't. It hasn't been handed down from their higher ups because the Vatican, for example, if you're Catholic, they haven't made a specific stance on it. So it's the subsects can't either.
But they've made progress and said that hell was all a lie.
But it's
and aliens are a possibility.
But it's chic. It's chic to not only follow the main grain what everybody's thinking, but also to have a counterculture, a subculture within you that says, you know what, I toyed with the idea, and that's the thing. Some people hold on to that, but they don't investigate. They don't think beyond just Illuminati. I heard of that. It's Jay-Z, right? And that's it. They don't know anything else beyond that.
Yep. Exactly.
But it's not bad, but I'm just saying.
But if you ask me,
searching,
Cliff, Hi, man. Kyle. I think it's made up by tobacco companies.
It's always Philip Morris.
Fuck you.
Come on
Margo.
now.
They're desperate these days.
They want more smokers every freaking day. They'll do whatever it takes.
Hey, you want a new backpack, man? Just smoke 7 packs a day. I got a backpack for you, mother.
I have this hole in my throat, and I still smoke.
Vapor's taking over, dude. They're desperate.
Dude, Cliff, it makes sense.
Who's got a vape? Be honest.
I don't. I quit smoking August 1st, 2012, and I vouch that I would never contribute to their evil ass fucking ways, man.
What the
And Clifford's like, I want a cigarette right now. I would rather smoke myself silly on the rawest fucking weed, the dankest shit ever, dude,
Then
than smoke a fucking cigarette.
Amen. High five me. Just high five me.
High five.
Just high five me. You didn't hear it, but let me see this how it emanated. That's how it sounded.
I think it just kind of got lost in the mix of things. Tobacco. You know what I mean? Native Americans used it for fucking, meditative purposes and healing purposes.
But everyone knows the Native Americans said it. You guys, the Europeans came and they fucked up our water. And they fucked up our crops. They fucked up our animals. They fucked up our women. They fucked everything up.
They fucked up our tortillas.
They fucked our beavers, man.
No, I mean, Mexican natives are pretty brutal, dude. Native Americans, they didn't like them. The fuck is y'all doing in my land?
Everything has a purpose. It's intent and focus and awareness.
But, yeah, Mexicans are pretty savage, Cliff.
Una tamales, Cliff. Una tamales.
Chespirito. But, I mean... I think for a lot of people, I mean, a lot of consumers, don't if you buy into the hype, don't get too caught up in it. Especially my fellow Mexicans. The whole narco culture is not exactly
Cartels.
Yeah, I mean that's a serious
sad,
topic, dude. I mean it's sad. I mean they're trying to glamorize it, and it's like, dude, it's like
Mexico.
That's like us glamorizing fucking
East Coast.
Well,
West
they glamorize
Coast.
the mafia. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everything's glamorized, dude.
And one thing I wanted to point out about, to bring it back a little bit, the Illuminati, the people in the Illuminati, they're not like, hey, this is so cool, we're in the Illuminati. Just like the people in the mafia.
It's like a frat or some bullshit, dude. That's
a great comparison.
The people in the mafia, they weren't like, oh, we're in the mafia. People didn't believe the mafia existed before it got uncovered. And then people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened under our noses. You know what I mean?
hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
Is that what Big it's about?
No labels.
There's a movie with Tom Cruise as like a new lawyer. He just graduates some Ivy League school, right?
What's the name of that movie?
Everybody wants him. The Firm.
Oh, yeah. John Grisham.
Yeah, it's a John Grisham book. And The Firm has to do with the mafia. He doesn't know that this firm that he's getting into is
pretty deep.
Is highly tied for the mafia. So he's doing all this work for them, and he finds out that you can't leave the firm, otherwise they're going to kill you.
Is that a drone?
That's a really cool...
It's a drone.
Okay.
The mafia runs the drones.
Cut the Illuminati conversation off. I hear a drone.
But
yeah. So anyway, I agree with what Cliff is saying. Is that they don't want themselves to be known, but for whatever reason, it's coming to the limelight,
right,
to be accepted as being okay. That's right. Which is the mafia was never able to do that.
Forget about it.
Wait, The Sopranos. Maybe,
nobody walked in and the show ended.
Lyrically, is that what Dig It's about?
No, not at all.
Come on, there's got to be some kind of metaphorical.
Metaphorical meaning for Dig It. Yeah, there's tons, but there's no segue to go from The Sopranos to
dig it. Just keep searching, man. Don't just say, "Oh, I believe in the Illuminati."
Well, I mean, I actually want to play the song. I don't know if you guys mind.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to wrap it up then. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Cliff is so
okay, I gotta go.
2015. Bringing to you live.
This song is probably the song that we've had the longest for the Etches album.
Right. Well, what inspired it?
What inspired it?
Give me a quick synopsis of it.
Lyrically, it's kind of like it's about nature. It's like, I don't mean to sound like a tree hugger, but it's like...
Hug them trees.
Be a tree hugger, man.
It's about,
Cliff, I like to hit a tree.
No, be a tree hugger.
It's about respecting the fucking origins of man. That's what it's about.
You're like, you see that bison right there? Before you kill it, you got to say a prayer.
No. You
Now
wanna,
kill it.
You want to respect
before you eat it.
You want to respect nature, man. You look at a lizard, like it's just a little tiny lizard. Until you see a tidal wave, and you're like, tsunami. That's a little bit bigger than I
You know what I'm
thought.
saying?
Respect.
I can't do that.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? But, well, before we wrap up, I want to play the song. Well, before we wrap up. When we wrap up.
Sometime.
Is that how you say it?
We're gonna close it with the song.
We're going to close that? But, I don't know. I mean, I would love to get you guys on again to do a podcast, especially Clifford. Clifford's really fun to pick at.
And by the way,
So many things.
just to say it one more time, the date for the Fourth Dimension show,
February 7th, Saturday.
Edgar's birthday!
Saturday.
And,
Edgar's birthday.
iTunes release of Etches in Aether,
February 10th.
We're bringing
Tuesday.
everyone down.
February 7th.
Azusa, Arcadia,
And,
Monrovia, El
2015.
City, Sangarebra.
Our friends, the end of an age, they're gonna open up for us. Hopefully,
Nice.
cross your fingers.
Yeah, we should have some other bands as well.
And just to give people information about the venue, it's called Fourth Dimension. It's in Monrovia, February 7, 2015, around roughly 8 o'clock?
Yeah, that
8
should be
o'clock.
a good start time.
It is 21 and over. I know that for a fact, right?
Not always.
Okay.
Sometimes they let 18-year-olds in there.
Okay. Yeah, for 18-year-olds might
I've
as well
seen
be
bands-
21.
I've seen bands play there, man. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah. It's a great venue, full bar. There's pool tables. There's Vie Jester, and then there's Vie Jester.
And there's
I think
Illuminati.
Vie Jester's playing.
We'll be underground at the dance club section.
Yeah, downstairs. There's also a bar there. There's a bar in the restroom.
Por
There's a
mi
bar
amigo.
outside. There's a bar on the fucking crosswalk.
There's a bouncer outside. Look for him.
Por mi amigos.
Yeah, his
aquí
name Kyle.
En el East Foothill.
Oh, your name
está
Kyle
en la
too?
Vie Jester.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. We'll do this again. And here is
Thanks, Edgar.
Dig It.
Dig it.
To give myself a hand, I sow a seed that beats the land. Brother, give me peace to kick my lover's new disease. Yeah, I wish I had a heart, blocked full of mud to soon be apart from all this. Cause when the season ends, she knows what I'll reap again. So no shade in white skies. I'll never see the day she gets betrayed. 'Cause lately I've tried to give you away. Some would say her garden grows slowly now. She's gonna bloom today. Her mud will come, cover up till it dries off the sun. She says, dig my roots, I'm in season. There's no reason I should cry. She's got the seeds that I so love. Seeds that I would so wanted by. I dig it. Her mud will come, cover up till it dries off the sun. She said, dig my roots, I'm in season. There's no reason I should cry. If you dig it, you dig it. 'Cause lately I've dried up the machine.